angle. If anybody catches me live, give me a shout out. Let me know if, because like there was a while where I'm having my phone, I forget whether it's landscape or portrait now. I think portrait is upright, landscape is wide. So I'm on, anyway, different setting. And there was a little while there where I just could not seem to flip my phone around. And I just tried to get a new phone because it's been a few years, although I really don't like buying anything new anymore. But the company wouldn't let me because of poor credit. What? So there you have it. Isn't it a funny world? I watched a girl on TikTok talk about homelessness, living in a van, and how, to get Social Security and all that kind of stuff. It's almost like you become enslaved. You have to become a slave to work your way up the system. It's like wild awarenesses of the system that we're living in. And from my perspective, why love and compassion is so juicy and important. To be honest with you, I have no idea whether I'm actually live. I'm not sure if I put this unlisted, so I might be unlisted. Either way, now that we're here, we're going to get a little vibe check for the day ahead, April 19th. Woo! We're getting so close to that Uranus conjunction. Although I'm a bit of an astro nerd, I looked back. I was like, when is the other one in Aries? And then looking back again, when is the one before that? And trying to track like significant moments. I have Jupiter in my 10th house, right, and conjuncting my MC, so I do get a sense that there's some career stuff going on for sure. Anyway, let's get into it, my lovers. I'm MJ, I'm the founder of Ultra Love, and I like to do our daily readings to connect with you guys and see what the energies have in store for us. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Even in the personal readings and just in life, I think it's super important to know ourselves well enough and get a sense. And when we get to know ourselves, it really is like the emotional body, right? Like getting to know why and how, and why do we do these things that we do? What's really guiding us or driving us? Hence, becoming aware. I wonder, is this special? Is this special? I think it's better over here. Yeah. My apologies. Total distractor. Totally distracted. Okie dokie. Thank you for your patience in this wild internet saloon. And let's. That's my fave. That's the warm one. Okay, I have pulled some cards for you guys this day, and I'm not a fan. I'm gonna be real. Only because there's that Three of Swords right bang dang in the middle, and there is the Devil. But let's get deeper into it because, like, you never be too sure, right? Like, oftentimes there's some beautiful messages that come out of cards that we might look at and think, I don't know. But the Devil energy next to the Four of Pentacles. I'm getting a sense that for some of you, this could have to do with money that you've got tied up in investments that you're... I am getting a feeling of like wanting to take money out of an investment and possibly getting a bit of a block, or somebody who's like, you can't take that out right now, or like you can't pass this gate. And it is something to do with your money. It's something to do with the money that you've invested. It could even, for some of you, have to do with an inheritance you have received or you are about to receive. I would, the other energy here too is just, I would say if you're coming into any money, beware. Don't talk to people about it. That's the Devil energy I'm finding of like, you can't pass, you can't da-da-da-da. Because the Star card with the Death would be like wishes come true, but maybe through some darkness or through some suffering, right? Or through losses. Death would be a loss. Death would be losing. Something, we often interpret it as radical rebirth and transformation. With the Star card reverse, I'm seeing a doorway. So I feel like there is perhaps someone in our lives that's been transitioning, going into a different dimension, right? Going into a different world. And then for some of you, obviously, it's only ever some, and in general readings, take what resonates, leave the rest, and truly know yourself, right? These are we always want to remind people this is for fun and entertainment. This is a way for me to promote my personal business and for a way to connect with you and share my skills and stuff. But otherwise, you know, we're all unique, and I always, in yoga, meditation, and tarot, always give people permission that you know yourself best, you know. However, in this reading that I'm looking at, I'm seeing a doorway in the star card next to death, where that is giving me a visceral feeling of somebody crossing over, you know, somebody going back to heaven kind of thing. And then money coming in, a potential foundational amount. You know, I'm talking amount of money that can maybe buy you a house or put into something. But my concern is that there could be somebody in your midst that I'm feeling, ooh, be careful. The devil, that could be a Capricorn energy, that could be a business type of person energy. It's like, I would say, just be mindful of how much you share with that person, or don't tell that person that you're coming into money. It will be disappointing. I definitely get lost for some of us here. Sorry to say, yeah, and the Seven of Swords, I mean, it could be losses in as far as, like, there could be some shady business dealings going on. There could be somebody, this is funny. I mean, funny, it's not funny. It's troubling. There's potentially also somebody stealing from the company. What is that word, audit? Or, like, I'm also getting a sense of this devil, like, there's something going on economically, money-wise, or personal bank accounts, whatever, and then there's, like, some shade, and then there's, like, these external bodies that have to go in and, like, research and, or what's that word with criminals they use? Investigations. There's, like, I mean, heck, gosh golly, for some of you, if there is a death, for example, somebody passing over, this is where there's, like, police involvement or people getting involved to investigate a situation and whether or not there was foul play. And I'm not gonna lie, there's potential for foul play, because that Seven of Swords with the Three of Swords, I'm like, this is a pretty deep situation. The reason I'm not feeling super is because what I'm getting is that this is stuff going on around you or within a business environment, or people that are at just enough of a distance that it's not uber duper painful, but it could be affecting your working life. You might be feeling a bit of anxiety, but no shit. If this is like a situation happening, that's just by entering into that environment, we'd feel it. This is it's like a couple people in the office going down for doing some shady shit, and, like, the rest of you are like, oh my god, holy fuck, what's going on? Because I literally am getting an image of, like, FBI or, like, these, you know, suited people going in and taking stuff and investigating something. But it's not feeling direct, intimate. It's feeling like something that some of you might be observing. Interesting. Okay, let's, oh, hey, somebody's there. Hi. So I am live. I'm just going to pull a few more cards for the final messages here. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Thanks for being here, you guys. Okay, final messages here. This is a dynamic situation. Again, it's probably just for a few of you, or maybe even just one of you, kind of thing. The good thing is that as you're coming into the situation, the message coming in, I would say that some of you are going to be like, what's the word? You'll be notified. So you're going to know about this stuff that's going down. For example, the stuff that's going down in the office environment, you're going to know about it before you walk in. And so you're going to be aware, hence anxiety, and you might have to witness a bit of a heartbreak, or you might, or some of you might witness something that is kind of heartbreaking, okay? Like a boss that's lost a parent and then business partner totally double crossed him, and you're like witnessing this Shazam going down in front of you, right? Hence the heartbreak energy is in the upright. So in your midst, in your energy field, there is definitely some shade and or some healing of the heart. But I'm not necessarily feeling it as like a direct heartbreak. Maybe for some of you it could. For very, very select few, it could be that you get a message from somebody being like, yo, so-and-so has been playing the field. Maybe. Seven of Cup reverse. See, it's reversed though, so I'm like, I don't think they're really playing the field. I think there's just a lot going on emotionally where you're like, ah! And then seeing this work situation, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on energetically, and there's no doubt you would have a little bit of anxiety in this environment. For some of you, the resolve or like part of the spiritual advice is to go into hermit mode, get a little break. Hey, high five flames, how are ya? Ooh, doing dishes, holla Shazam. Look at my best friend's sister. Oh, hey. Thank you. I do get that sometimes. I think there's, you know how we have some people in our lives and there's a familiarity, right? No worries, dude. We've been hanging out internet friends for a long time, isn't it? And I appreciate, I just quite randomly went live. Not randomly, like I do obviously share a lot, but I decided to just hop on the live instead of pre-recording and uploading. And for the first time, like, are you guys seeing me sideways, right? Like, because my phone's that way, and this is the first time in a while that I've been able to like get my phone to work. And yeah, like I said in the beginning, did I say that in the beginning? I just tried to get a new phone, it's not gonna work. I didn't know phone companies would credit us anymore. Anyway, have a great day. I think I'll leave it there, right? Live streams are fun, man. Remember when I used to do them all the time? I used to do them like every day. I'm doing a Get Ready With Me series on TikTok, but again, not live. I don't have enough followers to go live. I do miss the live streams here. I am promoting and or planning to do Celestial event live readings, though, so keep an eye out for that. So on the community page, that's where it's at. On the community page, I'll post a link of the videos that I'm planning to go live on, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've got a stream ready to go for Monday, which would be, hold on a minute, my lovers. If you're going to the community page, because I went live for the solar eclipse on the 8th. I went live in that morning. Like, holy shit, it's all just a big brain fart at the minute. I have no idea what's as far as, I guess I went live on April 8th, and then I'm intending, so I have to remind myself because I'm teaching tomorrow morning as well at the retreat. Actually, I'm teaching at the retreat tomorrow morning. I've got a new class starting, and I'm still teetering on taking on a whole space myself, because there's other spaces, and I'm like, well, I could just like do things in other spaces and not have the kind of extra responsibility. I'm a little bit of a go-getter, so I have like FOMO around business opportunities. I'm like, yeah, but then, you know, after a while, if you've had a few big failures, you're like, maybe I should just rein it in a bit and like just try to stabilize the ins and outs of life. So let's go. Up in the mountain flow. I am looking into something, by the way. I know, it's just fun times, isn't it? Like going live. It's just been a while, and I think it might have been on the TikTok share, the Get Ready With Me, where it was like, you know, those years where it's just everyday sharing, and you know, in this sort of naivete, proper naive types of sharing, right? Oh, interesting. He took that video down. I wonder why. Yeah, so eclipse reading. Oh, see, I've not listed, but Hmm. Huh, how weird. That's interesting. So I reshare other people's videos, like Rasa Lila Healing, Emilio Ortiz. Oh no, it's here. That's weird when I was looking at it through the thing. Anyway, I am planning to go live around the Juranus. You feel me? Do you know what I mean? Juranus. Get it, you guys? Conjunct. Each of them. It's just happening to conjunct right on my natal Chiron, which I'm super excited about. Although I'm pretty much, I think anyway, aware of what it's done as far as like triggered and or brought things to my awareness, and thus quite deeply having a pretty substantial like healing crises slash existential crises. Thank God I love what I do, so I'm happy to be here with you guys in that career, but the sense of self has been shifted a bit, and that's weird. You know, when you spend 42 years thinking a certain way, doing a certain thing, interpreting the world a certain way, and then legit something comes in that pretty much just completely is like, whoa, 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 that isn't a thing. Like I thought my whole life that's the thing, or that's who I am, or that's what I do, or that's and then, which is cool because suddenly there's like all this spaciousness, but it's also a bit uncomfortable, isn't it? Where you're just like, okay, life, you're like let go of a whole bunch of stuff, let go of a whole bunch of identification. Hence the like FOMO of like, if I don't take it as an opportunity, who am I? You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Just hang out with the birds and the bees. Anyway, so good to be here. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate being connected on the internet, Abby. I'm horrible at guessing age, my friend. I'm 42. I just turned 42 April 5th. And I do use you know, some of those anti-aging things. I don't have shame around it. I get that it's not for everybody. But I'm a big fan of the facial exercises. Although as I say all this, I'm like I've lost. Oh, there she is. There she is. I'm a huge fan of facial I follow all those women that do the like all this, and then all this. You gotta you gotta exercise the face for wrinkles, especially if there's things that you do that you know age you. But then that's because I'm vain as well. I really have a lot of admiration for people that don't hyperfixate on their looks, because to me there's it's actually can be incredibly toxic and like annoying, but here we are. This is our societies. I got lots of friends, families, me too, myself, my mom, like loads of kids, loads of friends growing up, like April 4th, April 5th, April 6th. I got a good friend at the estate, at the gardener there, she's April 14th. My friend's mom, who just passed, is April 7th. My grandpa passed on April 8th. Yeah. So I feel you. There's a lot of April Aries energy. Another crew members, end of March. Oh. But you know what I mean, right? It's like, and I think the same for men. Like men, it's the same. Like you want to feel attractive and all that kind of stuff. But there's an edge, obviously, around all that, and I think it's something too about being an empath or being compassionate, where you just never want people to feel bad about themselves, and that's the heart of compassion. It's like being able to honor the certain things, but being somebody that can also be like, God, just see the beauty in us all, the beauty of our humanity, which is dirty and ugly, crying and mysterious and unknowable, and like just like all this stuff, and yet there is exquisite beauty in just the totality of this existence, and we get to live it. Like, how freaking cool is that, right? Although, get me in another moment of like, I don't know if I can meet your animal, like I just have a total like, yeah. Yeah, totally. And I've embraced that. I can remember somebody years and years and years ago. This is probably, actually, it was the same trip that triggered the beginning of my deep intuitive shadow work phase, which was over 10 years ago now. But somebody mentioned that I was a bit heavier before stopping drinking, and before I was probably about 2 sizes larger. And I can remember somebody being like, you're manly, basically, like you're trying to, and I think I might have cried or just been like, oh my god, he's saying something about how I hold myself, as far as like, which makes sense, independent woman, do it all. I have to be the man and the woman, like, but I was holding this sort of like strength, and he was like, you can let that go. Interesting, isn't it? I met this person in Cambodia. They were a French traveler. I'm pretty sure I was out smoking and he was smoking, and the person I was dating at the time was playing video games, and he just had a really philosophical, kind of spiritual chat, and of course it changed my life. Do you guys ever have that? Do you guys have any random encounters that are really, really like minute, as far as like, I never forget being in a bookstore, maybe like Waterstones, one of those even big ones, hungover as all, in Liverpool, feeling that sense of like, what am I supposed to do, God? And then I go into the bookstore, I pick up a couple self-help books, and out of nowhere, this person just comes up to me and said, you know everything already, and then walked away. And then I looked down at those books, and I was like, I don't think I need these books. Because I'd already been reading all this stuff. And then another was this French guy in Cambodia, and he's like, no, he's like, and I'm like, yeah, gratitude, and he's like, no, gratitude, like I remember him opening in his arms and being like, you must be feeling like the embracing of life, and I was like, okay, it's different than us, like, just make it gratitude, like, I am grateful for, no, you feel it with the aliveness of your entire being. It's like I talk about that too. Like, sometimes I cry, but I'm not like sad. I'm feeling this beautiful, overwhelming gratitude at just like existence itself, basically. I know, and I think that is like the discernment piece for blessed women and men to a certain degree, right? It's just like, okay, for me, I can admit, like, oh, the maquillage and putting makeup on to like cover blemishes and all that kind of stuff. But my family, we've been lucky, good skin or whatever. But increasingly, I think what's detrimental is younger and younger and younger women changing the actual structure of their face before learning self-care, self-love. It's all kind of backwards and flipped around, upside down, and inverted. Women that are in their late teens and early 20s don't really have no need for modification. But who am I to say, right? But it's the fact that when you get to a certain age where you're young, but I think long term, if you start some of the procedures too young, you'll end up looking older, younger, and potentially actually destroying the natural structure of your face. It's like all those lips. Where, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of women could admit to being tempted, and a lot of women could admit to being like, yeah, some women, they look great, right? But then there's this sense of homogeny where it's like everyone's starting to look the same. Everyone's got these same over plumped lips and the same false lashes, and again, there is a beauty to it. I'm not saying it looks awful. I'm saying there's a homogenization of the way that we're supposed to look, which is weird. it starts to feel a bit weird when you're like, oh, okay, you know, and you know, no doubt that the toxic beauty standards of that family, that Kardashian family, and like this is the standard, and like, okay, we can project those images, but I think what's also coming out is just the like total hogwashness of the entire Hollywood celebrity industry, and how we're all being duped by them to buy certain things and to monetize themselves, while they project an image that they want us to believe about them, but that is not, like, they have this reality show, but you don't think every single part of what's publicized in that reality show is totally curated by the family themselves. We're all being gaslit basically by the media and by celebrities. And I think the quicker we all wake up and realize these people are just people, that there's a whole web of lies and deceit and really deeply dark and problematic things going on behind the scenes of these glamorous Hollywood industry. That I think the more we learn, the more we'll realize that there's talent all around us, that there's entertainment all around us, that there's real entertainment that we can engage with that's better for our mind, our heart, our soul, and you know, it doesn't have us deluded in thinking these people are such great people. I'm not saying they're not great people. I'm saying they're human like all of us. And so they're going to have some darkness too. And I think any of us, if we had a very business savvy parent or parents, and they curated a model of sort of success within the world of celebrity and industry, then any of us would probably have a pretty good go at that level of success, if that's what we were taught and if that's how we were taught to be. I think a lot of us in our heart couldn't really adapt to that, and or felt pressure to be like that. But really, once we start sniffing around, I trained as an actress. There was a very brief period having an agent, going for auditions. I just didn't like the industry. Like, I understood, like, I'm an actor, I'm a performer, but but the industry, like going into auditions, hanging out with other actors, hanging out with I'm a bit of a loner, I mean, I don't, but I mean, I just observe things, right? But a lot of desperation, a lot of seediness, you know, and I just thought, I'm gonna die. You know, like, I started to think I'm gonna die if I try to have a go at this. And I remember having a breakdown where I was like, I can't do it. And then literally, like, yoga doors just opened. It was like the world, the universe was like, don't do that, do this thing instead. And I was like, I get it. I want to teach people how to be peaceful. I want to teach people how to feel good. That resonates with me. And then lo and behold, it was the first thing I ever did as an adult that was able to, like, afford me enough money to, like, get my own apartment. As far as, like, I'm a renter, I don't own property. It's only been a recent thing that I've actually thought it would be cool to own property or own things or possess things, but that comes from my heart of compassion, of the fact that I see lots of people owning lots of stuff, that they just hoard it all, and it bothers me. And I think if I had lots of stuff, I just want to share it all and make sure everybody was really happy and healthy and well, and that everybody had enough. I think that's the biggest difference between a lot of why women are wanting to rise up and be like, yo, it's all okay, you know, like, we don't hate on any other gender, but I think a lot of the women's movements in the past and currently are about the fact that we're looking at a world dropping bombs, raping the planet, raping each other, and yet we're still seeing the dominance of male voices, male leadership, this isn't a gender war, right? This is just a consciousness war. This is a war on, like, God, please, love, let there be more loving leadership, let there be a more harmonious voice. Because if we're only hearing from a dominant gender on this planet, and that gender is doing things that is hurting us all, we need to do something about it. And I don't know what that is, other than speaking up, other than having the courage, you know, to have a voice. Because I think any of us know, and certainly women know, it's difficult. A lot of us have grown up throughout our lives being dismissed, patronized, talked down to, sweetie. Like, you can feel it, that exchange. It's real. You can feel when people are talking down to you. You can feel when people are, like, just not respecting what you have to say. And what's sad is that a lot of that is programming, as in if the few times, not a few, a lot of times when I've addressed that with the men in my life around like, why do you say it like that? Or why have you said it like that? Like, oh, interesting. I'm like, yeah, that's programmed misogyny. That's a programming that you just automatically don't value what I have to say just because I'm a woman. Why? Partly because you've been taught to sexualize and commodify me and objectify me. So it's hard for some people to see a female as another human being and not something that they're going to use or want for them, you know? And I'm sure men, women alike do all these things, but again, what we're looking at is an overarching, generalized construct that we've all been indoctrinated into, that some people call the patriarchy, right? My concern at this day is that so much of this language ends up being polarized, and so we end up getting misconstrued in the men against women or blah 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 blah. But it's more about understanding. It's more about an evolution of our species to become more whole, more intelligent, more thoughtful. Because most of us with a deeper empathy can see that just dropping bombs and being in these endless war cycles is not doing anybody any favors at all. Nobody's winning except for the few people that are mass producing these wars and driving them. And then we all have to suffer. And I also realize that things like the autism, this increasing mental health epidemic, you know, like mental, and I always want to say mental emotional health, they cannot be separated. And autism and everyone, depression, anxiety, and autism and ADHD, everybody somewhere somehow is on some spectrum. And I just think this is a consolidation of generational trauma. We're not getting out of this without addressing the generational trauma, which directly is going to address the military war complex, which directly is going to go and address the people who are running that ship, which methinks it's not good for everybody. It's going down. I'm thinking of a song about going down. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks, High Flames. Thanks for being here and having a little chit chat with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I stopped watching 2011, 2010. When I left my home in 2010, briefly I had a cohabitation with people that had TVs, but well, no, for certain by the time 2012 when I got my own apartment, and ever since then I've never had a TV. I don't miss it. Although I say all this, I'm like, I stare at my phone a lot, and I look at my computer, and I watch things on these things, but there is a shift in consciousness, I think, when you step away from the mainstream narrative and are only engaging in social media exchanges. That I think changes the game, but then that also makes us even more hyper aware and vigilant about the addictive nature of these information streams. And this is nice, connecting with real people doing things, but at the same time I'm increasingly aware to beware. Like, beware of the information we're ingesting. How does it make us feel? Is there, I really want to go down that route. Godspeed, loves. Godspeed. I wish you well. I hope you have a magical day. Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure to see you. I get to see you. I think I see you on Insta as well, right? Same. I think we all do. I think we can all put our hands to that. Like, yep. Wait, dude, my phone is just on me all the time. And I'll like share this in my, teaching meditation to people. I'll share it with the class around like, yes, there's apps, yes, there's whatever, but any time or chance I get to put down the phone, I take it, right? So sitting in quiet with people and engaging, hence where I'm like being guided, I think, to set up a few weekly and monthly events where I can re-engage with people. This is engaging. I feel this is engaging, but engaging in a room, right, with more people. I think there's that slow ushering into like getting out, because I really feel that the what's the word, like critical mass, or like the outpouring of the people around us has changed. And I think we've all changed. I think we've changed probably more radically than we realize, and that we're on the other side of something, but we're still in some radical transformational energies. You have a great night, my friend. I'm gonna have a great day. The sun is out. Let me just show you the outdoors, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Sleep well, Five Flames. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have an awesome day, you guys. Take care. Peace out.